Hello and welcome to I Am Well podcast. I'm your host Jemma, a nutritionist and a hormonal fasting coach, passionate about self-development through a holistic lens. But my biggest mission is to help empower women and get them to reconnect and trust their bodies again. So if you're a woman who just wants to better herself and live her best life, you're listening to the right podcast. So let's get to it. Hello and welcome back to I Am Well podcast. Welcome to Mindset Mondays. I hope you're having a fabulous Monday or start to your week otherwise. First off, let's kick things off. Before we get stuck into today's episode, I'm going to just talk a little bit about what's happening with balance. I have just finished applications for this start of this year's program. So now we are turning balance into a passive program, okay? So this is for those people who wanted to join, but they were like, maybe it was a bit too hard with time, maybe it was a bit too hard with money, because this is going to be a much more cost-effective and time-effective way of you having access to all this knowledge and information for your own health and needs. And I'm so excited to bring this to you. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that balance is turning into a passive program. Don't worry for those people who still want to join the program. We will still be having live programs running, but this is for those people that just don't have the time to make it and they still want to be a part of all of this. And, make some great, amazing changes to their health. So stay tuned for that. What I do recommend is that you subscribe to my email list, as I'm also got a very, very special VIP day coming up, and everyone that is on my email list will get the information for this first. Otherwise, if you're on my Instagram, social media, eventually you'll hear more about it. But with this VIP day, there is only 3 lucky applicants who are actually going to get a free one-to-one session with me. And it's all within the one day. So we're creating health plans, action steps, and I'm going to help you achieve your goals in 2025 and really get clear on how to do that using the mindset tools that I've used, but also using other tools, but I can make it specifically to you and your lifestyle. And we're going to try and get all of this done in a 1-hour session, as well as some other little goodies that you'll get. So yeah, if you're interested in this, make sure you're on my subscription list. So look at the links in the show notes below and sign up to my email list. Add your email in there and you'll be the first ones to know, because otherwise, if you wait and you just think, I'll just wait till she posts on Instagram, you might miss out, because I do have quite a big list of email subscribers already, and I'm sure these positions are going to go like that. So first, let's get started into today's episode. I'm excited about today's one. It came to me actually from my daughter. She had her very first day of prep. She's very first day of primary school. If you're overseas, this is like the big school in Australia, this is you get the school uniform, you get your school bag, it's all things. And it's just very exciting, very brand new. And she's making new friends. She only knows one other person that has come from her daycare. So creche, kindy, whatever you want to call it. She came from there, and she's actually the one girl that she knows has been sick this whole week. So she's trying to make new friends this week. And that's where the inspiration for today's episode came up, because she kept saying to me, Mum, what if no one likes me? How do I be liked? How do I make friends? And she kept saying things like, they're not going to like me. I'm going to do something funny. They'll laugh at me. They'll pick on me. I'm like, Summer, you're thinking way too far into this. And I said, Summer, you make friends so easily. I see her all the time. And this is the thing about little kids. They actually do make friends so easily, because little kids don't have much of that overthinker in their brains yet. There's not that analytical part going too much of, oh, you need to stop doing this. You need to not, you'll see kids and they'll be running and jumping all over the place. You'll never see an adult do that, because it's it'll look like you don't fit in, right? So this kind of, I thought to my daughter, I was like, oh, okay, so You want to know how to be liked. And we can still say the standard things like, all you got to do is be yourself. Just be you, and people will come to you. And that is perfect advice. And I love that. But when you say that and you hear that sentence over and over again, it just goes over people's heads. So I've got let me see, how many points have I got? I've got 4 points that we're going to talk through today and really get stuck into actually how to be liked, because this is a lot for a lot of people, how to be liked in new workplaces, how to make some friends when you're a stay-at-home mum, how to, we moved interstate, how to make new friends when you've moved interstate. I know it sounds so simple, but this actually is a big complex issue with a lot of adults, because no one teaches you this in school. You just have the natural attributes. You just have the normal human traits that are there, but you actually don't get taught how to be liked or how to make a friend or how to be authentic. You don't get taught this. So that's what we're going to go through to today. Really uplifting, motivational episode for your week, and I'm really excited. Let's jump into it. Okay, let's get stuck into number 1 for today. So let's first understand the concept of being liked. What does it mean to be liked? What does it mean for a human being to be liked? Okay, well, it means you're included. It means that you're safe. It creates this safety. We needed this so much as in a society as the human race grew up, especially back in the day, caveman days. It was very dangerous. You had to stick in groups. There were tigers, lions, cheetahs, like everything outside your cave door, and you always had to be aware. So you needed to fit in with a group to have that protection and that safety, so that you could all make sure you're looking out for one another. You're all in the cave huddled together. You actually get to be in a cave. You get to be invited into one for starters. So that's where it kind of like stems from. And we've still always got this deep inside of us, this fear of like needing to be included, because if you're not, there's this fear of danger, like you're not going to survive. And we don't obviously need that nowadays. You look out your door, you're not going to see a tiger unless, I don't know, you might be living in somewhere like Africa or something. But depending on your living circumstances, you're most likely nowadays not going to be seeing tigers walking down the street about to attack you. So come back to that. And when you're fearing of being liked or wanting to fit in, remember that's that human trait deep inside that's like, I need to fit in because I'm worried about that tiger coming out to attack me. Okay? So let's remember though, the difference between being liked and being authentic though. Because you can be liked, but you can be liked for someone who is completely not you, complete opposite, or someone that you've kind of picked up from traits of someone that you might have seen that is popular, is liked a lot, and you thought, well, I need to be like that to fit in. So you're acting like this other person so that you can fit in with this group of people or fit in with society. And you're realizing you're getting exhausted, because at the end of the day, that's not who you are. That's not your authentic self. So it's not sustainable to be like this. This is for those people too who maybe are coaches or doing things online, creating online businesses, and you're showing up in ways online because you're seeing other people and what they're doing. And you go, oh, that person's like really outgoing and like funny at the camera. I'm going to do that. Or this person's like really calm and centered and does lots of meditations and journaling. I'm going to show that like that's what I do. And the thing is, if you're not actually doing that, or that doesn't bring you joy when you do it, you're going to burn yourself out, because you're not showing up authentically. And most of the times you can probably trick people at the start, but eventually they're going to see through it. And that will then end up bouncing back that attraction. That person's going to then feel like they're not trusting you. You're not a trustworthy person because you're not coming across who you actually are and that scares someone, because they're like, well, who are you? So it all comes down to, you can be liked by someone, but are you being authentic? Are you being yourself? And I really want you guys to like think of this right now in any situation. Think of this how you're showing up at work. Think of this how you're showing up in your business. Think of this with family members when you catch up at events. How are you acting? Like for a time there, I used to try so hard when I'd catch up with at family events and catch up with like extended family members and try to please them, to fit in with them. How are you showing up at that time? Because it's exhausting if you're showing up in a way that you just want them to like you. If that's your only goal, then that's just exhausting. And why would you want to live a life like that? So go back to that. Go back to why you're actually acting the way you are. Is it authentic? Is it being you? And is that why you're burnt out and tired? Number 2, I'm just going to talk about key traits of likability in people. So think of someone who was most popular in your school. Think of someone that you know who's like a social butterfly, someone that maybe they're not even a social butterfly, but you just know that everyone likes them. There's not one person out there that doesn't like them. Think of their traits that they have. Usually it's someone who, it could be, yes, they could be outgoing, but are they a really good listener? Because sometimes there's those outgoing people, but when you're talking to them, you know they're not really listening to you and everything that you're saying is just going straight over their head. And yes, they might be outgoing and that might be fun, but then they don't have that aspect of listening. So it doesn't make you feel like you're cared for or safe. And you want to be around someone who cares for you and you feel safe around. So don't just jump straight to all popular people are outgoing, because that's just one trait. And sometimes that's not the be all and end all. There is those people that are kind and caring and compassionate as well. People who think of you and you haven't, don't you just like love those people that'll be like, oh my God, I was thinking about you the other day and I was thinking of this. Or someone that you like talked to, say 2 weeks ago, and then you talk to again and they've remembered what you said last time and said, oh, how did that go with that meeting or something? And you're like, oh my God, they remembered, they listened. It's surprising, isn't it? Those people you end up being drawn to and you like. You also end up liking people that have this like real nice calming energy or energy about them that you're like, I want that. You end up hanging around people that you want to be like, There's that statistic out there where it's like you surround yourself with the five closest people around you you're going to end up like them. So think of the 5 closest people around you. Who you're surrounding yourself with. And are you liking those traits that you're becoming? Think about what you like and how you like how someone makes you feel. And then you can be that way to others. Once again, go back to authenticity though. Make sure it feels right in the moment. Don't just do things because you heard, oh, this is how you get liked. This is how you fit in. I need to do this. So if you want some like practical tips on this, like actionable tips that you can take away and be like, okay, Jemma, I get it. I get like how I can fit in. Like it's not rocket science, but what do I do? What I want you to do is to start improving the traits that you already have and working on traits that maybe you don't. You could improve your likability through like your body language, for example. I saw some body language expert talk about how people who talk with their hands and are really expressionate with their hands and they're moving them all the time, that actually gives another person a sense of safety because they're seeing your hands there. Whereas if you're sitting at a table and your hands are below the table the whole time, it actually makes someone feel really self-conscious and without them even realizing, their subconscious mind is going, where's their hands? Why aren't they showing their hands? Like this is sus. Like, so it's funny how that works, isn't it? But this is just, it's a human thing. It's a human trait within us that we don't even realize that we have. So make sure, how are you sitting? How are you feeling? And by the way, all of this is actually natural. It's actually natural to talk with our hands. So if you are a person that's sitting there with your hands down while you're talking, I'm not saying that means you're not going to be liked, but think about how you're feeling in the moment then. Because most of the time, like if you're just sitting there rigid and not moving, are you tense? Are you anxious? Are you worried? Think about how you're feeling. it all goes back to that sense of feeling. And if you want to start being liked for being your authentic self and showing up authentically, you have to first start to love who you are authentically. And that's the biggest takeaway out of all of this. Like, if you hear anything that I've said in this episode, it's just that you need to build your self-confidence and believe in yourself. Like, that's what I said to my daughter. I said, people love you, Summer. You go off and you play on the playground even though no one else is playing, and you'll jump in the sandpit when no one else jumped in the sandpit, and you'll do funny things because you don't care. You're just doing what you want to do. People see that and they go, oh, she's so cool. Like, she's just doing what she wants to do. I want to be like that. You're listening to this today. Maybe this is something that you actually need to hear, because stop second guessing yourself. Stop second guessing what you can bring to this world. Everyone in this world can bring something. And I'm saying this because I know I've had so many times of self-doubt, so many times where I felt like I'm not good enough. It is that part in your brain that's trying to hold you back, because it's fear. If you do step into the person that you're supposed to be, that it's completely unknown and a whole new world for you. So it's better to just be safe and be the person that you know that will fit in. But if you're listening to this today and you're feeling like, yes, everything she's saying is making sense, and there is that part of you that you know that you're not truly being your authentic self, you're not truly giving who you are, then that's the part that you need to connect with, because that's the part that's actually crying out for you. So sorry to get a little deep here, but it's needed. Okay. Now so we went through like some practical tips, like, so the body language, you could use tone of voice. Make sure how many times have you heard when people are talking, they talk with a question, like, my name is Jemma. I work as a coach. Like, if I say it like that, it's like I'm doubting who I actually am. Instead of saying, my name is Jemma and I work as a coach. Like, that has a completely different tone of voice than the first one. So how are you speaking when you're connecting with other people? Because people pick up on this without you even realizing. They're going, she doesn't really sound quite sure of herself. And without them even realizing, they're thinking, we need to hold ourselves back here. We don't know who this person is. She doesn't seem trustworthy. Like, let's just be careful around her. And then you're left wondering why no one wants to, why you feel like you're not fitting in with everyone. And it's because you're not believing in yourself. You're not giving yourself the love that you deserve. So how do you expect anyone else to give you that love? It all comes down to loving yourself first. And I actually say this all the time with my health clients as well. If you want to lose weight, you have to first love where your body's at right now. Okay? So then we've got, number 4, which is making sure that you're building genuine connections with people. That just comes back to the full circle of, it's important to create like relationships that come from authenticity. So making sure you are showing up, being your authentic self, being there and being okay with that. Like, you are beautiful the way you are. You are exactly who you're supposed to be. So if you're worrying about fitting in a new job or a new place or new people, you have to retrain your brain that it's okay to be who you are. And it's scary because you have to be a little bit vulnerable. You have to be a little bit willing to be open. I really want you to think, what is the worst thing that could happen? If you showed up being authentic, doing the things that you love, saying the things that you love, being who you want to be. If you want to be, if you are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s and above, and you want to be outgoing, outspoken and fun and do some crazy things, but you're like, oh, I got to act my age. I got to be this. No, who says that? Be who you want to be. TikTok is so big now for people showing up and becoming, massive on there. But why do you think it's because people are showing up being authentic on there? The people that end up exploding on social media are the people that are showing up who they are, like literally true to who they are. Yes, of course you've got people out there that are showing up inauthentic and they might have a following, but I'm not talking about those people, okay? So if you've got those objections and you're saying that to me now, no, I'm talking about the people that are showing up, they're being fun, loving, outgoing, whoever they are, they're showing up being exactly who they're supposed to be. Be vulnerable, be open and connect with people, because then you'll find the people that you're supposed to surround yourself with. So when I think back to when my daughter was saying, what if people don't like me? Go back to Mel Robbins' advice of let them. I don't know if anyone's heard of the let them theory. If no one likes, if those people don't, no one's going to not like you. If those people don't like you, let them. It's okay. Not everyone's supposed to like you, and that's okay. The world would be boring if we all just liked the same thing. So let them not like you. Find your people, okay? I hope this was just a little bit of motivation for your Monday morning, and go be the person that you always know you're supposed to be. I believe in you and I love you guys. Thanks for listening. If you loved this episode, please don't forget to leave a rating or review. It means the world to me. Otherwise, I'll talk to you all in the next episode. Thanks, guys. Bye.